said that you were converted at some point. Is there a rule that UPA has about being a lecturer for so long?
My favorite part of the contract, Article 13, concerning temporary hires. It is, it's become more difficult since we got that into the contract. It was 12 years ago now. 2003 contract. That's right. It's become a little bit more difficult because the article stipulates that you have to be paid 75% of your salary in G funds, which is less because we are relying more on tuition to pay our salaries, so that makes it a little bit more difficult to meet that threshold. And you've had to have been, and it's not a conversion of the individual, it's a conversion of the position after 7 years of continued employment. Or that number, that position has been in effect for 7 years. Does it stipulate full-time?
No.
No, it doesn't.
It has to do with how much. You have to be half-time or more to be in the bargaining unit. It has to be a full-time position count, even if you're only working part-time in the position. There are people in that situation.
But when people are in that situation, I say take a look at that article very carefully and see if you are in a position to take advantage of it. Yeah, go ahead.
So I would just add, because Sharon made that very specific clarification, the position can be converted. So what that means is if that decision is made to convert that position into a permanent full-time position, then the person has to apply and has to meet the minimum qualifications.
In some but not all cases.
Yeah. You always have to meet minimum qualifications, but there have been a number of faculty members, large masses, who made the conversion. UH Manila at least, has a policy now that says if it's a tenure-track position that's open, they do a, quote, national search. They don't have to, but they do. And I don't know how that impacts Hilo. So there's a whole spectrum of options. It's probably an issue, by the way, that is going to, in future contracts, have more attention paid to it, particularly on the actual conversion of people who have been here, not just the position.
Just to add, KCC, the policy was established by John Morton when he was the chancellor there, that if an individual was in such a position and they had been promoted, because a lot of us were hired into these temporary positions and then were promoted, then they would convert you. Although I was in one such position and I had to reapply for my position, so it wasn't necessarily. There's administrative discretion.